What if the only thing standing between you and the life you dream about is what you do every single day without even thinking? Not the goals you write down once a year, not the big plans you talk about when you're feeling motivated, but the tiny invisible habits you repeat every morning, every afternoon, every night, without noticing how they're building your future, one quiet brick at a time. Success isn't this giant explosion. It's not a sudden breakthrough. It's the slow burn of small things done right, over and over again, long before anyone sees the results. Most people wait for motivation. They wait to feel ready. But the ultra-successful know that waiting is a trap. They don't hope for change. They build it piece by piece, with the discipline of daily habit. While the world sleeps, complains, or makes excuses, they're doing the unglamorous work. And that's what separates them. Not talent, not luck, not some secret shortcut, but habits. Simple, consistent, relentless. You don't need to transform your life in a day. You need to become the kind of person who chooses the right actions daily, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching. Right now you might feel stuck, like something inside you is meant for more, but you just can't break through. You try hard for a while, then fall back. You burn out, get distracted, and tell yourself maybe next time. That cycle ends here, because once you understand how the ultra-successful think, once you see how they use their habits as tools, not tasks, everything changes. You stop trying to force success in big dramatic bursts. You start living like success is who you are, not a goal to chase but a reality to claim. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. You have power over your time, over your focus, over what you repeat. And if you repeat the right things long enough, they become automatic. That's when life starts moving in a new direction, not because the world changed, but because you did. Your energy shifts, your decisions sharpen, your results compound, and suddenly, the things you used to dream about become the things you do daily. Stay with this, because we're going to unpack the exact habits that high achievers live by, the ones they protect fiercely, the ones that elevate their mindset, fuel their performance, and shape their reality. These aren't empty motivational ideas. They're rooted in discipline, in psychology, in the quiet power of consistent action. And they work, not just for them. For anyone who's willing to stop chasing intensity and start honoring the process. If there's even a part of you that wants more, that believes you were built for something greater, this is your turning point. These next minutes could reshape the next decade, not through hype, but through action. Real, grounded, daily action. So take a breath. Lock in. Because the habits of the ultra-successful aren't just theirs to keep. They're yours to build. Starting now. There's a reason the ultra-successful rise before the sun does. It's not about showing off or proving something to the world. It's about winning the battle within. Before the noise begins, before the world starts demanding pieces of you, before distractions cloud your mind and steal your clarity. Early morning isn't just a time slot, it's sacred space. A time when the mind is fresh, when the body is still, when the soul can breathe. And those who know how to use this time don't just live differently, they become different. Most people wake up reacting. They reach for their phone. They scroll, compare, worry, rush. They dive straight into the current of chaos. Already behind, already overwhelmed. But the ultra-successful do the opposite. They wake up with intention. They claim those first moments of the day like warriors preparing for battle, because they understand something simple but powerful. How you begin your day shapes how you live your day, and how you live your day becomes how you live your life. This is where you take control back. Before anyone asks anything of you, before the world pulls at your time and energy, you choose yourself. You choose peace over panic. You choose clarity over confusion. You choose progress over procrastination. In those early hours, you plant the seeds of who you are becoming. It's not about doing more, it's about becoming more. About building the mental armor you'll need to stay focused, stay driven, and stay true to your path. Don't wait for motivation to get out of bed. Don't wait for the perfect morning routine. Start with one act that declares you're in charge. One small promise kept. One breath taken with purpose. When you do this daily, something powerful happens. You stop waking up to life, and you start waking up for life. You become the kind of person who doesn't just get through the day, but commands it. That morning silence is your reset button, your advantage, your clean slate, and when you learn to use it, the rest of your day begins to serve you, not control you. That's where focus sharpens. That's where purpose locks in. That's where excellence is built, not in the big wins, but in the quiet consistency of rising when it would be easier to stay down. So the question becomes simple. Do you want to be ruled by your schedule or master it? Do you want to drift into your day or drive it with power, with clarity, with presence? The choice is yours every single morning. And it's not about perfection, it's about commitment, about waking up with a reason and living like that reason matters. This is where change begins. Not in noise, not in urgency, but in silence. In the decision to rise with purpose. To face the day not with fear, but with fire. And once you taste that kind of control, that kind of inner victory, you'll never want to wake up any other way. Once your day begins with intention, everything else starts to fall into alignment. But there's one habit that locks it all into place. The habit of clarity. Not vague wishes, not scattered thoughts, but laser-sharp clarity about who you are, where you're going, and what must be done today to bring that vision closer to reality. The ultra-successful don't guess their way through the day. They don't wander through tasks hoping progress will magically appear. They decide, they define, they act with precision. Because they know clarity is power, and without it, even the hardest effort leads nowhere. When your mind is clear, your energy becomes focused. You stop reacting to life, and you start responding with purpose. You don't just work harder, you work smarter. You begin every morning by answering one question: what matters most today? Not what's loudest, not what's easiest, what matters. That answer becomes your target, your compass, your filter for saying yes or no. Because the moment you lose sight of what truly matters, you open the door to distractions disguised as productivity. Clarity kills procrastination. It silences doubt. It gives your actions a heartbeat. And the ultra-successful guard this clarity like their life depends on it, because in many ways it does. A clear mind can see opportunity where others see confusion. It can push through chaos with calm, with direction, with confidence. This isn't about being rigid. It's about being intentional. It's about knowing what to pursue and what to ignore. Because if everything matters, then nothing does. Your goals don't need to be complicated. They need to be yours. And they need to be clear enough to drive behavior. Vague goals produce vague action. But a clear target pulls you forward like gravity. It wakes you up early. It sharpens your decisions. It turns sacrifice into fuel. And every day that you choose clarity over confusion, you become a little more unstoppable. This kind of clarity doesn't happen by accident. It comes from reflection, from asking hard questions, from getting brutally honest with yourself. What do you really want? Who do you need to become to get it? What distractions have to go? What patterns need to break? These aren't just questions. They're keys. And when you answer them with honesty, you unlock a version of yourself that doesn't need motivation. You unlock a person who is driven by vision, not by mood. You don't have to figure everything out today, but you do need to stop living in fog. You need to stop confusing busyness with progress. Take 1 hour, 1 page, 1 deep breath, and write it down. What matters most? What's non-negotiable? What are you chasing and why? Let that become your focus. Let that shape your day. Because when you're clear, you move differently. You speak differently. You lead differently. And the life you're building starts to take shape. Not someday, not eventually, but right now, one focused action at a time. Once clarity is in place, the next move is consistency, not the kind that waits for perfect days or high energy. The kind that shows up no matter what. Because that's where real power lives. Not in rare moments of greatness, but in the invisible rhythm of showing up when it's hard, when it's quiet, when no one's applauding. Ultra-successful people are not the most gifted. They are the most committed. They repeat the fundamentals until the fundamentals become part of who they are. And that identity, it becomes bulletproof. It's easy to be consistent when motivation is high, when life is smooth. But the truth is, those days don't shape you. The days that shape you are the ones when everything feels heavy, when your mind screams to quit, when progress seems invisible, and you still choose to move forward. That's the difference. That's the edge. Discipline isn't punishment. It's a gift you give your future. It's proof that your vision matters enough to be honored, even when it costs comfort. Every action you repeat reinforces your identity. You either build the identity of someone who follows through, or someone who only moves when it's convenient. And here's the truth. Your habits are casting votes for who you are becoming. Every small action counts. Even when it feels like nothing's changing, something is. The brain rewires, the body adapts, the standard rises, until one day, what used to feel difficult becomes automatic, and you realize you've become someone new. But consistency requires something deeper than routine. It requires belief. The belief that what you're doing matters, that even the smallest step, done faithfully, carries weight. Most people give up not because the path is hard, but because they can't see the progress. They want results to prove their effort is worth it. But ultra-successful people flip that. They let effort be the proof. They trust the process. They fall in love with the grind, because they know that mastery isn't born, it's earned, inch by inch, day by day. This kind of mindset builds momentum. It removes emotion from discipline. It stops waiting for the perfect moment and creates progress through action. You don't have to feel ready. You don't have to be inspired. You just have to begin, and then begin again. That's the pattern. That's the rhythm. The reps you put in when you don't feel like it, those are the ones that change everything. So stop waiting for the right mood, the right timing, the right energy. None of that matters as much as your ability to stay consistent. Even a slow pace beats standing still. Even small progress compounds when it's steady. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to be relentless, to keep showing up, to keep building. Because success isn't something you chase once. It's something you choose daily, through action, through discipline, through consistency that doesn't break. That's how the extraordinary is made, and that's how it becomes yours. Consistency lays the foundation, but focus is what sharpens the edge. Without focus, even the most disciplined effort gets diluted. Time slips away. Energy scatters. Progress slows. The ultra-successful understand this truth. They don't just work hard. They work with intention. They protect their focus like it's their most valuable asset, because it is. Every distraction that steals your attention also steals your future. Every time you chase what's urgent instead of what's important, you pay with your potential. The world is loud. Notifications, opinions, demands, they're designed to pull you off course. But focus is a choice, a muscle you build, a shield you raise against noise that doesn't serve your vision. And the more you protect it, the clearer your path becomes. The ultra-successful don't let their day get hijacked by other people's agendas. They decide in advance what deserves their energy. They eliminate what doesn't. Because greatness doesn't come from doing everything, it comes from doing the right things deeply and without distraction. True focus means learning to say no, not out of arrogance, but out of clarity. You can't pour yourself into your dream if you're constantly leaking energy into things that don't matter. Every yes to distraction is a no to growth. And the more scattered your mind, the weaker your results. This isn't about doing less for the sake of laziness. It's about doing less to achieve more. Deep work, uninterrupted time, total immersion. These are the places where breakthroughs happen. But focus isn't just about tasks. It's about presence, being fully in the moment, giving your whole self to what's in front of you. Whether it's building, creating, learning, or simply resting, do it with your full mind. That's how excellence is built. Not by multitasking, not by rushing, but by respecting the power of now. When your attention is locked in, your results multiply. Not because you're working longer, but because you're working smarter. You don't need to respond to every alert. You don't need to chase every trend. You need to build a system around your focus, a sacred space where nothing interrupts your mission. Put your phone away. Close the tabs. Guard your mind. This is not just about productivity, it's about freedom. The freedom to create a life that reflects your highest priorities, not your most frequent distractions. And when you train your focus, you transform your identity. You stop being reactive and start becoming intentional. You no longer drift, you drive. You no longer waste energy, you invest it. That shift changes everything. It turns ordinary days into powerful stepping stones. It turns scattered potential into real achievement. Focus isn't a tool, it's a way of life, a habit of the mind that separates those who dream from those who do. Every moment you stay focused is a moment you build the life you say you want. So hold the line, protect your attention, and remind yourself, what you focus on, you become. Focus sharpens your direction, but energy fuels your journey. Without energy, even the clearest vision fades into frustration. Ultra-successful people treat their energy like currency. They know that how they sleep, how they eat, how they move, how they breathe, it all shapes their performance. Because the mind can't function at its best if the body is breaking down. Mental clarity doesn't come from force alone, it comes from balance, from restoration, from choosing habits that elevate instead of exhaust. You are not a machine. You are not built to grind endlessly without pause. Your energy must be managed, not drained. Every decision you make either recharges you or depletes you. The way you wake up, the way you recover, the way you protect your physical and emotional well-being, it all matters. High performance isn't just about pushing harder. It's about learning to renew, to listen, to prioritize the habits that keep your fire lit without burning you out. Sleep isn't weakness. Rest isn't laziness. Movement isn't optional. These are foundations. The ultra-successful don't just work. They recover strategically. They train their bodies to support their mission. They hydrate. They stretch. They move with intention. Because they understand when the body is strong, the mind becomes unshakable. When the body is nourished, the emotions are stable. When the body is rested, the decisions are smarter. Your body isn't separate from your goals, it serves them. And energy isn't just physical, it's emotional. The people you surround yourself with, the thoughts you allow, the self-talk you repeat, all of it shapes your state. Protect your energy like it's your future. Because it is. You don't have room for drama, you don't have time for bitterness, you don't have space for habits that drain your spirit. You are here to build. And that means choosing inputs that lift you, fuel you, and remind you of who you're becoming. Your energy is sacred. It's the foundation beneath every choice, every action, every breakthrough. Don't let exhaustion become your normal. Don't confuse burnout with ambition. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to take care of yourself without guilt. That's not weakness. It's wisdom. That's not retreat. It's strategy. Because when your energy is aligned, your work becomes unstoppable. Your attitude becomes magnetic. Your habits stick. Your focus sharpens. Your resilience grows. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot serve your purpose if you are constantly depleted. Prioritize your energy like your dreams depend on it, because they do. And when your body, mind, and soul are aligned, you stop forcing progress and start flowing toward it. That's when the work becomes powerful. That's when each day feels lighter, yet more productive. That's when you stop surviving and start thriving. Let your energy become your advantage. Let it carry you, sustain you, and remind you every single day, you are built for this. When your energy is aligned, the next transformation begins at the level of self-talk. Because the words you speak to yourself every day are not just thoughts, they are commands. They shape your confidence, dictate your behavior, and carve the path of your identity. The ultra-successful understand this deeply. They don't just control their habits, they control their inner voice. They don't wait for outside validation to feel worthy. They speak strength into their own reflection, every morning, every night, and in every quiet moment in between. You are always in conversation with yourself. In the silence of your mind, beliefs are being built. The question is, are they building you up or breaking you down? Negative self-talk is a silent poison. It hides behind jokes, doubt, comparison, and hesitation. And if you allow it, it becomes your ceiling. But when you choose to speak with courage, when you choose words that empower, something shifts. You stop shrinking. You stop apologizing for your ambition. You start rising. Your mind believes what you tell it. Feed it fear, and it will find reasons to freeze. Feed it hope, and it will find strength you didn't know you had. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you create, deliberately, consistently, through the voice you choose to listen to. Every time you tell yourself, "I can't," your belief system hardens around that lie. But every time you say, I can, I will, I must, you make that belief real. You breathe life into it. And that breath carries momentum. The world around you cannot outshout the voice within you. So train that voice to speak truth. Not comfort, not ease, but strength, possibility, and progress. Speak to yourself like someone you believe in. Because you are not your failures, you are not your fears, you are not your past. You are the story you're choosing to write now, in this moment. And that story begins with the words you whisper to yourself when no one else is listening. The ultra-successful build their inner world before they shape the outer one. They prime their mindset like they prime their body. They speak life into their goals. They affirm who they are before the results ever appear. That's not delusion. That's preparation, because your identity drives your decisions. And if your identity is grounded in power, in purpose, in unshakable self-respect, your actions will follow. You won't need motivation, you'll become it. Let your words become your armor. Let your self-talk become your fuel. When doubt creeps in, answer it with certainty. When fear whispers, respond with fire. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be present. Show up for yourself with the kind of belief that doesn't flinch. Because once you master your inner voice, you no longer need permission. You become your own source. And that changes everything. That voice becomes your edge. That voice becomes your breakthrough. That voice becomes you. When the voice inside becomes your greatest ally, discipline is no longer a punishment. It becomes your freedom. Most people wait for motivation to act. But those who rise above don't wait. They act regardless of how they feel. They've trained themselves to move when it's hard, to follow through when it's inconvenient, to honor their commitment long after the emotion that sparked it has faded. Discipline is not about being rigid. It's about being loyal to your future. It's about doing what must be done, even when no one is watching, even when every part of you wants to quit. The ultra-successful treat discipline as a daily ritual, not a reaction. They don't negotiate with their goals. They don't give themselves permission to slack when it's uncomfortable. They build routines that sharpen them. They understand that freedom isn't found in avoiding the hard things, it's earned by doing them consistently without excuse. Because every time you choose discipline over distraction, you send a message to yourself, I matter. My future matters, my word matters. You will not always feel inspired. You will not always feel ready. But that is exactly when discipline becomes your superpower. It is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. You don't rise by waiting. You rise by moving, by choosing, by pushing forward on the days when your excuses feel loudest. Discipline teaches your mind that your goals are not optional. It shows your fears that they don't control you. It builds confidence in the trenches, not in the comfort. There will be moments when the comfort of ease will tempt you. When skipping a step seems harmless, when breaking your promise to yourself feels justifiable. That's when your future hangs in the balance. Because every small act of discipline compounds. Every time you choose action over avoidance, you take back control. You rewire your mind for strength, for grit, for greatness. You don't need to be extreme. You need to be consistent every day, no matter how small the step, no matter how slow the pace. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about showing up broken, tired, uncertain, and still moving. It's about reminding yourself that comfort is not your goal. Growth is. And growth demands discomfort. It demands repetition. It demands that you keep showing up even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because that's when the transformation happens. Not in the loud moments of success, but in the quiet ones where no one claps, no one sees, but you still choose to rise. You want power? You want results? Then build a mind that follows through. Train yourself to act without delay. Build systems that support your purpose, not sabotage it. Let discipline become your edge, your anchor, your standard. Let it become your identity. Because when you make discipline your default, you don't just dream, you execute. You don't just wish, you win. And that's how legends are made. Not once, but every single day. Success is not built on talent alone. It's built on intention. Every action you take either pulls you closer to your purpose or pushes you further from it. The ultra-successful don't move through their day by accident. They live with clarity. They wake up with direction. They know what they're doing and why it matters. They don't waste time on what drains them. They align their energy with what moves them forward. Because if you don't take control of your day will control you. And when your life is ruled by distraction, your potential gets buried beneath noise. Clarity creates power. Without it, you drift, you react, you settle. But when your vision is sharp, your choices become simpler. You stop chasing everything and start building something. You stop saying yes to what's easy and start saying yes to what's necessary. You stop living on autopilot and begin designing a life that reflects who you really are. You don't need to know every step, you just need to know where you're going and commit to moving with focus every single day. There is no strength in scattered energy. There is no growth in chaos. When you live without clear goals, you fall into patterns of comfort. But comfort never builds greatness. Intention does. The ultra-successful start each day with purpose, not just a to-do list. They set their minds before they step into the world. They know their priorities before the pressure begins. That's not luck. That's discipline powered by intention. And it's available to you the moment you decide to stop drifting and start choosing. You are not here to be busy. You are here to be effective. Being busy is not the same as being productive. Movement is not the same as progress. It's easy to fill your day with tasks and call it effort. But effort without direction is just exhaustion. You deserve more than a life that drains you. You deserve a life that fuels you. And that begins with asking the hard question, what truly matters? What am I really building? What am I willing to let go of so I can become who I was meant to be? Every minute you give your attention to something unaligned is a minute stolen from your future. You don't need more time. You need better focus. You need better habits. You need the courage to say no to what no longer fits your vision. That's how you make room for what truly matters. That's how you create a life that reflects your values, not your distractions. Your life doesn't transform when you do more. It transforms when you do what matters most. And the power to do that is already in your hands. All it takes is clarity, commitment, and the decision to never again let your day be ruled by randomness. That's how legacies are built, one intentional choice at a time. Your environment shapes your habits, your mindset, and ultimately your destiny. It is the silent architect of your daily reality. The ultra-successful understand this on a profound level. They don't leave their growth to chance. They surround themselves with conditions that fuel their progress, not sabotage it. Every object, every sound, every person they allow into their space either raises their standards or lowers them. If you want to transform your life, you must first transform the world you live in. This is not about control for control's sake. It is about creating a foundation so solid that excuses have nowhere to hide. Imagine a place where every element, your desk, your digital space, the people you speak to, supports the highest version of yourself. That place does not happen by accident. It is curated with intention. It demands honesty about what lifts you up and what drags you down. Clutter, distractions, negativity, these are not just inconveniences, they are barriers. They slow you, they drain you, they steal your focus and dilute your power. But when you clear the noise, when you design your surroundings to serve your goals, your mind aligns with your mission. Your environment is a reflection of your self-respect. When you value yourself, you value your space. You choose to invest your energy wisely. You build systems that make success easier to reach. The ultra-successful don't rely solely on willpower. They set up their world to make good choices automatic. They don't waste energy fighting battles they don't need to fight. Instead, they remove the obstacles. They design for flow. They invite excellence in and keep distractions out. This is about more than neatness. It is about mindset. When your environment speaks order, your brain shifts into a mode of focus and calm. You are less reactive, less scattered. You find the space to think deeply, to create boldly, to act decisively. That mental clarity is a hidden power. It sharpens your instincts and strengthens your resolve. The ultra-successful harness this power daily. They don't let chaos seep into their zone. They protect their time and energy fiercely, knowing these are their greatest assets. Take a moment to evaluate the spaces where you spend your time. Are they helping you become who you want to be, or are they holding you back? Every choice you make about your environment is a choice about your future. This is the place where transformation begins. Before you write a plan, before you take a step, before you speak your first word of the day. Because you cannot rise above the conditions you settle for. When you design your environment with purpose, you give yourself permission to thrive. You build momentum before you even start. The small act of creating space for success becomes a daily ritual of respect and intention. And over time, those rituals build unshakable momentum. Your environment becomes a quiet but powerful partner in your journey, a constant reminder that you are serious about your dreams. This is not about perfection, it's about protection. Protect your energy, protect your time, protect your mind. Your environment is the first battleground of success. Win it and you win everything that follows. You have the power to shape your world so that it shapes you back, stronger, clearer, unstoppable. The power of focus is the secret weapon that separates those who dream from those who do. It is the invisible force that magnifies effort and transforms ordinary moments into breakthroughs. Yet, focus is fragile. It can slip away in the blink of an eye, lost to distraction and overwhelm. The ultra-successful know this all too well. They guard their attention like treasure because it is the most valuable currency they possess. Every decision they make honors this truth. Where attention flows, energy grows. Imagine what happens when your focus becomes unshakable. When distractions no longer control your mind, when noise fades into the background, and when every ounce of your energy channels toward your highest goals. This is not fantasy. It is a skill, one that is cultivated, protected, and sharpened every single day. The ability to focus deeply and consistently unlocks a level of productivity and creativity that few ever experience. It is a doorway to mastery, and once you step through it, the world rearranges itself to your favor. The mind is naturally drawn to chaos. It craves novelty and stimulation. This is why so many fall prey to endless scrolling, constant notifications, and fragmented attention. But freedom does not lie in surrendering to distraction. Freedom lies in mastering your mind and commanding your focus. When you do this, time expands. You accomplish more with less effort. You rise above the noise. You build an inner fortress where your dreams can grow without interruption. Focus demands discipline, yes, but it also demands kindness. It is not about forcing yourself into rigid patterns that break your spirit. It is about creating rituals that nurture your concentration. This means setting boundaries that protect your sacred time. It means choosing the work that matters most and giving it your undivided attention. It means saying no to anything that steals your light. Each choice to focus is a vote cast for your future, a declaration that you value your potential more than fleeting distraction. The ultra-successful harness the power of focus not by willpower alone, but by designing their lives to invite deep concentration. They create spaces and times free from interruption. They chunk their day into periods of intense work followed by intentional rest. They use technology wisely, not allowing it to hijack their minds. These habits build a rhythm that supports sustained energy and sharp thinking. And this rhythm is a cornerstone of their success. Imagine the shift that comes when you reclaim your focus. The projects you've postponed gain momentum. The ideas you've doubted become clear. The fears that held you back begin to dissolve. You discover that your mind is not your enemy but your greatest ally. This shift is not accidental. It is earned through daily choices to respect your attention, to protect your mind, and to build rituals that serve your highest self. Focus is the foundation on which everything else stands. Without it, progress is scattered, effort wasted, and dreams deferred. With it, you become unstoppable. The clarity you gain from focused attention fuels confidence. Confidence drives courage. Courage propels action. And action creates transformation. The power to focus is within you right now. Claim it, guard it. Use it to build the life you were born to live. Your mindset is the battlefield where success is won or lost every single day. It shapes how you see the world, how you react to challenges, and how you move forward when everything feels uncertain. The ultra-successful don't wait for motivation to strike like lightning. They build a mindset that is unbreakable, resilient, and hungry for growth, no matter what storms rage outside. This mindset is not accidental. It is forged by choice, daily practice, and relentless commitment to seeing obstacles as opportunities instead of threats. Imagine waking up with a mindset that refuses to settle for less than your best. A mindset that meets failure not with defeat but with fierce determination. This mindset understands that discomfort is the fuel of growth, not a signal to retreat. It believes deeply that every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. When your mind is wired this way, fear loses its grip. Doubt becomes a whisper instead of a roar. You no longer need permission to pursue your dreams. You give yourself that permission every single day. The ultra-successful cultivate mental strength by embracing discomfort as part of their daily ritual. They know that comfort zones are prisons disguised as safety. Growth demands that you step beyond familiar boundaries, that you face uncertainty head-on, and that you learn to thrive in chaos. This is not easy, but it is necessary. It is where transformation happens. Every time you push through resistance, you rewire your brain to crave progress over ease. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than any excuse or hesitation. Your mindset also shapes the stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you are capable of. These stories either limit you or liberate you. The ultra-successful choose stories of empowerment. They refuse to identify with failure, fear, or scarcity. Instead, they choose to see themselves as creators, problem solvers, and warriors on a mission. This internal narrative fuels confidence and resilience. It helps them bounce back faster and aim higher. Your thoughts become self-fulfilling prophecies. Choose them wisely. Mental strength is also about focus on what you can control. You cannot change every external event, but you can control your attitude, effort, and response. The ultra-successful do not waste energy on blame, regret, or worry. They accept what is, learn from it, and move forward with clarity and purpose. This acceptance is not resignation but power. It frees them from mental chains and unlocks boundless energy for action. When you commit to cultivating this mindset, you build a fortress of mental resilience that no circumstance can breach. Your daily habits will shift naturally as your beliefs transform. You will approach each challenge with curiosity, courage, and calm confidence. You will find strength in setbacks and purpose in pain. This is the mindset of the ultra-successful, the mindset that turns dreams into reality and ordinary days into extraordinary legacies. Your mind is the gateway to your future. Feed it with strength, feed it with courage, feed it with unwavering belief in your ability to rise. The power to transform your life begins in the silent conversations you have with yourself. Choose those conversations carefully. Guard your mind fiercely. Because when your mindset is strong, nothing can stop you from becoming everything you were meant to be. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. Without it, even the greatest dreams remain just that. Dreams, distant and unfulfilled. The ultra-successful understand discipline not as a punishment, but as a choice they make every day to honor their vision. It is the quiet force that keeps them moving forward when motivation fades, when excitement wanes, and when the world around them seems to resist their progress. Discipline is the promise they make to themselves, a contract of commitment that outlasts fleeting feelings. Picture what it means to live with unwavering discipline. To wake each morning knowing you will show up, regardless of how you feel. To do the work when it's hard, tedious, or lonely. To say no to distractions and temptations that seek to steal your time and energy. Discipline transforms chaos into order. It builds momentum brick by brick. It turns habits into rituals, and rituals into the foundation of greatness. It creates the container where potential becomes reality. The essence of discipline lies in consistency, not in grand gestures or rare bursts of effort, but in the small actions repeated daily. The ultra-successful do not rely on willpower alone. They design their environment to support their discipline. They remove temptations, set clear boundaries, and build systems that make progress inevitable. This reduces the mental battle and frees their energy for what truly matters. When discipline becomes automatic, resistance fades and success accelerates. Discipline also demands courage. The courage to confront your weaknesses honestly and refuse to let them define you. It means facing the discomfort of self-control with grace. It means pushing past procrastination, excuses, and self-doubt. Every act of discipline is a vote cast for the person you want to become. It strengthens your identity and rewires your brain to crave mastery over fleeting desires. This courage is not absence of fear, but mastery over it. Imagine how your life would change if discipline became your ally. The weight of unfinished tasks would lift. The fog of indecision would clear. You would find yourself standing taller, moving faster, and achieving more. Discipline sharpens your focus, ignites your drive, and powers your resilience. It allows you to navigate obstacles with steady resolve instead of being derailed by frustration or fatigue. Yet, discipline is not about perfection. It is about commitment. It is about getting back up each time you falter, recommitting to the path with renewed vigor. The ultra-successful embrace failure as a feedback mechanism, not a dead end. They understand that discipline is a lifelong journey, a practice that deepens over time. Each day is a fresh opportunity to choose the actions that align with your highest goals. Discipline is the secret weapon that converts vision into victory. It fuels persistence when passion runs low. It builds character, sharpens focus, and molds the habits that define your destiny. The power to cultivate discipline is within you right now, waiting to be claimed. Choose it. Own it. Let discipline become the steady heartbeat of your pursuit, carrying you through doubt, distraction, and difficulty until your dreams are no longer distant. They are your daily reality. Your environment is more than just the place where you live or work. It is the invisible architecture that shapes your thoughts, emotions, and actions every day. The ultra-successful understand this truth deeply. They know that to rise above mediocrity, they must intentionally design their surroundings to support their highest goals. This means creating spaces, habits, and relationships that nourish growth, focus, and resilience instead of distraction, doubt, and delay. Your environment either propels you forward or holds you back. The choice is yours to make. Imagine the power of a life where every element around you aligns with your vision. When your space inspires clarity instead of clutter, peace instead of chaos, and energy instead of exhaustion. When the people you interact with lift you higher, challenge you to be better, and believe in your potential as much as you do. This alignment acts as an invisible force field that makes success feel natural and inevitable. Your environment becomes a mirror reflecting the mindset and habits you cultivate. Change begins when you take responsibility for what you allow into your world. This means ruthlessly eliminating anything that drains your energy or clouds your focus. Toxic relationships, digital noise, unproductive routines, all these silently erode your progress and weaken your resolve. The ultra-successful do not wait for circumstances to improve on their own. They actively curate their environment with precision, guarding their time and mental space fiercely. This is not selfishness, it is self-preservation for the sake of your dreams. Designing your environment also means building rituals that anchor your day. The ultra-successful create powerful routines that prime their mind and body for peak performance. These routines are like daily investments in their future success. They include moments of stillness to connect with purpose, bursts of focused work that honor their goals, and deliberate pauses to recharge. When these rituals become habitual, they transform the chaos of life into a rhythm of progress. You feel in control instead of overwhelmed, empowered instead of powerless. The people around you are a critical part of this equation. Your inner circle influences your beliefs, energy, and even your identity. Surround yourself with those who inspire excellence and demand accountability. Distance yourself from negativity and complacency. The ultra-successful recognize that success is rarely a solo journey. It is shaped by collaboration, mentorship, and mutual support. Your tribe should ignite your ambition, not dim it. As you redesign your environment, remember it is a reflection of your self-worth. You are worthy of spaces, habits, and relationships that elevate your life. When you honor yourself with this commitment, your confidence grows, your motivation strengthens, and your resilience deepens. You create a foundation so strong that external challenges cannot shake you. Your environment is the soil in which your potential either withers or blooms. Choose to cultivate it with care, intention, and unwavering commitment. Build surroundings that fuel your passion, sharpen your focus, and ignite your courage. This is not a luxury. It is a necessity for anyone determined to live beyond average. When you master your environment, you master your destiny. Success ceases to be a distant dream and becomes the natural consequence of every choice you make. Every moment you spend drifting through your day without clear intention is a moment lost to the silent thief called distraction. Ultra-successful people know this all too well. They treat their time as the most precious currency they possess, more valuable than money, more fragile than health, more finite than anything else. Time wasted cannot be reclaimed. It slips quietly away, eroding dreams and burying potential under the rubble of procrastination. If you want to rise beyond average, mastering your relationship with time is not optional. It is mandatory. The first step is to recognize that time is a force that either serves you or controls you. When you let it run wild, it leaves you scattered, overwhelmed, and paralyzed by endless choices. When you master it, time becomes your loyal ally, bending to your will, fueling your progress, and accelerating your growth. This mastery begins by understanding your priorities. What truly matters to you? What dreams ignite a fire so fierce that you refuse to settle for less? Answering these questions sets the compass that guides every decision about how you spend your hours and minutes. Ultra-successful individuals do not react to their days, they create them. They map out their time with precision, focusing first on tasks that move the needle on their biggest goals. This is not about working harder, but working smarter. It means ruthlessly cutting out busy work, distractions, and anything that does not serve a higher purpose. When you commit to this level of focus, your productivity soars, but even more important, your confidence grows. You know that every action has meaning. Every moment is an investment in your future. The psychology behind this is simple but powerful. When you control your time, you control your narrative. You refuse to be a victim of circumstance and instead become the architect of your life. This mindset shift ignites a sense of empowerment that fuels motivation and resilience. You stop waiting for the right time or external permission to act. Instead, you harness the present moment, no matter how imperfect, and make it count. Creating boundaries around your time is another crucial habit. Ultra-successful people protect their focus fiercely. They say no to distractions, interruptions, and energy-draining obligations. This is not selfishness. It is a profound act of self-respect. By guarding your time, you create a sanctuary where deep work, creativity, and flow can thrive. You signal to yourself and others that your time is valuable, and you will not squander it on trivialities. This discipline also builds momentum. When you start your day with clear intention and protect your time, you create a positive feedback loop. Success breeds motivation, and motivation fuels more success. Even small wins become powerful catalysts that push you forward, breaking through fear and doubt. Ultimately, mastering your time is about reclaiming your life. It is the daily habit that transforms vague hopes into concrete achievements. It turns dreams into plans, plans into actions, and actions into lasting change. When you own your time, you own your power. You stop drifting and start directing. Your life becomes a masterpiece shaped by choice, focus, and unwavering commitment to what matters most. This is the secret weapon of the ultra-successful, and it is within your reach starting right now. The energy you bring to each day is the invisible fuel that powers everything you do. Without it, even the best plans fall flat, no matter how smart or bold they are. Ultra-successful people understand this fundamental truth. Their physical and mental energy is their most valuable resource. They guard it fiercely, nurture it daily, and never take it for granted. The difference between those who succeed and those who merely survive often comes down to how well they manage their energy, not just their time or talent. Your body is the engine that drives your mind and spirit. When you neglect your health, you rob yourself of the clarity, focus, and stamina needed to chase your biggest goals. You cannot expect to perform at your highest level if you are running on empty. This is why the ultra-successful prioritize habits that recharge their energy on every level. They recognize that sustainable success depends on physical vitality, emotional balance, and mental sharpness working together as one. Starting with the basics, sleep, nutrition, and movement sets a foundation no one can afford to ignore. Quality sleep is the reset button that restores your brain and body each night. It strengthens your memory, sharpens your judgment, and boosts your resilience against stress. Nutrition fuels every cell with the vitamins and minerals needed for optimal function. Movement is not just exercise, it is a daily ritual that increases blood flow, oxygenates the brain, and releases powerful mood-enhancing chemicals. This trio forms the non-negotiable core of energy management. Beyond the physical, ultra-successful individuals invest in mental and emotional energy as well. They are mindful of the thoughts they entertain and the emotions they allow to linger. Negative thinking, self-doubt, and unnecessary worry are energy drains that sabotage even the strongest will. Instead, they cultivate positive, empowering mindsets that ignite motivation and inspire action. They create mental habits that build resilience, such as gratitude, visualization, and mindfulness. These practices are not just feel-good fluff, they are scientifically proven to enhance brain function and emotional health. Equally important is the practice of rest and recovery. High achievers do not glorify constant grind or burnout. They know when to push hard and when to step back. Strategic breaks, moments of stillness, and activities that bring joy and relaxation are essential for renewing energy reserves. This balance between intense focus and deliberate rest creates the rhythm that sustains peak performance over the long haul. The psychology behind energy management reveals a powerful secret. Your energy levels directly influence your confidence, clarity, and creativity. When your energy is high, obstacles shrink, solutions become clearer, and fear loses its grip. You step into your day with a sense of possibility and unstoppable momentum. This mindset propels you forward, turning challenges into opportunities and setbacks into lessons. Choosing to manage your energy is choosing to invest in yourself at the deepest level. It is an act of self-love and fierce determination. It says you believe you are worth the effort required to show up fully, body, mind, and soul for your dreams. This is the hidden habit of the ultra-successful. They do not just manage what they do, they master how they feel and how they move through life. When you harness your energy, you unlock a power within that no external circumstance can take away. This power will carry you through every challenge and elevate you toward your highest potential. The time to claim that power is now.